Now, here's the host of Community Report, John Dowson.
Good evening again, and welcome to Community Report. Now, tonight we're going to be talking with Shauna Conway and Victoria McDonald from Help. We'll learn a little bit more about that along the way. And in the second half of the show, we're going to be showing some highlights from the April 21st, 1996 80th anniversary celebrations from the Newmarket Vets Club. So you'll want to tune in and make sure you don't go away and watch that. So first of all, we're going to be talking with Shauna and Victoria. Shauna, I'd like to welcome you to Community Report, and Victoria. And Shauna, you have a group, or you started a group called Help. Can you tell us a little bit about what's the name and how you started this program?
I started it about 2.5 months ago, and HELP stands for Help the Environment Learning Program. And I started it because I took a course called Environmental Geography through Newmarket High, and we deal with some local issues and some issues that I wasn't really aware of before, and I thought that I'd just start a group. And also, I really got the theme that people are like not the overall higher power, you know, not the supreme being, and that the more we destroy our environment, the more we contribute to making ourselves extinct.
Well, you say you took this course. Was it high school? Was that part of the course, that kind of thing that you were talking about?
Well, we did everything from covering oceans to local issues, but yeah, there was some local issues covered.
And how did you get involved with this, Victoria? You didn't take the course that Shauna took, but how did you get involved with the program? How did you hear about Shauna?
Actually, I didn't. My husband did, and we've both been concerned about the environment for a number of years. I used to belong to a group in Barrie, and this is our initial action in this community where we now live to try and do something. Steve saw Shauna in the newspaper. Shauna was on the front page of the Era Banner once.
Oh, she was?
Yes. I can't remember what you were doing. There was a picture of you.
I was on the front page. It was like...
Oh, inside it.
Yeah, in the environmental section. But it was for cleanup. We did a cleanup to promote the group from the beginning of Ferry Lake to the end of Main Street. And we had like a lot of non-members show up and help support the group. And then the Era Banner came and promoted it. And we also got a lot of help from Bud Sudsbury, like head of recycling. And
who's that?
His name is Bud Sudsbury.
Right.
And he really helped at the beginning of the group as well. And we did a garbage cleanup, and the Air Banner came and said, "This is."
It was this year, or when was that?
Yeah, that was the end of February, I think.
But last year is when you did your first one, was it?
No, that was this year. I've only had the group for about 2.5 months.
And who was in the group that were helping you clean up Ferry Lake? Were you there, Vicky? Or?
No.
I wasn't there for that.
No?
See, that's how she found out about me, is they put it in the paper, and then she called from the paper.
But initially, the paper had stated that Shauna was trying to put a group of teens together, or make a teen environmental group. Yeah. And because we didn't know of any other groups in the area, Steve decided to call anyway. And that's how we were introduced to Shauna.
Oh, that's great.
And so it's become less teen-oriented now, and we're trying to throw it out more to the community.
So, because you're an adult, obviously, and Shauna's a teen, but do you have adults in your group now?
The group is very small at the moment, and one of the reasons I think about that's important to us about coming on this show is to try to grow the group to some extent, and yeah, there are a few adults in it right now.
So what are some of the things that you'd like to do with this help, and like where would you take the group, that type of thing?
Did you want to answer that?
Where would we take the group?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely want to try to make a standing difference, something that lasts in the community. We have lots of projects which I could go on, which we want to do, and we just want to try to make that work.
But I mean, just cleaning up Holland River is not the main objective, is it? No.
No, it's not. I think for a starter, what we were trying to do, the government previous to the current government started a Green Communities program. I believe it was started then. We're just doing some research on it now.
This is Ontario government.
This is Ontario government, and there are 18 green communities in Ontario. Toronto has 2 or 3. Barrie is a group, Collingwood, Peterborough, I believe Elora, Waterloo. Anyway, there's a number of groups, and there was a whole plan around that. So when we found out about that, we thought we'd look into trying to make Newmarket a green community. Anyway, now the program is defunct, but these communities are still trying to make a difference. So what we've done is we've got in contact with some of them, and I think one of the best ones that we might try to emulate at this point is the North Toronto group, which is really dealing with education, which is, you know, one of the things that Shauna had brought up at the beginning, what she wanted to do, is educating the community that there are problems out there and there are some solutions out there, and we can all be more environmentally conscious.
I noticed I should tell the viewers tonight it's a live phone-in show, and there's a phone number on the screen. If you want to pick up the phone and call in and ask either Victoria or Shauna a question, feel free to do so. Just pick up the phone call at any time. But the other, what is a green community? I mean, parks and that type of thing. Is that what's a green community, Shauna?
A green community is basically just like cleaning parks, making sure that they're as environmentally friendly as possible. Another thing that we haven't mentioned yet, which I'd also like to say is what we'd like to do, is try to get stickers on when people put cardboard boxes and things that aren't recyclable in their garbage. Getting the Newmarket town to put stickers on the cardboard boxes saying this is recyclable, check what you're putting in your garbage, whatnot, and refusing to pick it up, which we also feel would help limit the amount of garbage going to Kill Valley at the moment.
So into the Kill Valley, yeah?
Kill Valley landfill is what we are currently sending our garbage to.
I was just going to mention that would be, you know, part of the recycling aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is all part of the
what these green
the
communities do is they develop strategic plans for their communities to make them green, and they might have a newsletter. They try to establish memberships. They do deal with parks definitely and cleanups, tree planting, alternative recycling. Some of them have developed home assessments where these people go into your home and they will help you through, they're experts. I mean, these people get paid for their work. I mean, I don't think we would get into that at this time, but Barry and a group in Toronto called Green Savers, they do these home assessments. They'll go into your home and they will find leaks in your, or maybe holes in your roof, or they'll find leaks in your windows and assess your plumbing or your electrical work or whatnot, and help you reduce your bill and basically your overall energy consumption, that sort of thing.
So the being green is not necessarily just being clean and green, but it's you're helping the environment, also reducing waste. Is this part of the program and that type of thing? Mm-hmm. And saving money on, I guess, as you say, water and fuel bills, because of the efficiency of the home. Is this what you're talking about?
Well, and some of them work in conjunction with Consumers Gas or Ontario Hydro, and so they are basically extending the Ontario Hydro's program, let's say, for shower savers, the shower saver faucets.
No, that I've heard of, because in the town of Newmarket, it's been advertising that you can buy one of these. I don't know, it's a unit or something you put on the shower head, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you exchange the current shower head you have with one of these units, and basically it uses less water.
And are there other things like that people can do, Shauna?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, for water saving, just using less water altogether. But
no, but recycling. You had a couple of containers or something you were going to show.
Okay, well, I think a lot of people in Newmarket are very unaware of what is recyclable. And that's something that I've been going to the public schools and teaching them about, is recyclable products and the landfill and the current garbage problems. But, for example, there are numbers underneath these containers. And most people think all plastic is recyclable, but that's wrong. See, there's a 5 on that one, and there's a 1 on this one.
Right.
Only 1s and 2s are recyclable, and you can actually buy your products around what numbers there are. Like you can buy syrup that's not a 5 and is a 1 or a 2 to make it
really?
more efficient.
I never knew that. I was always wondering, why they don't pick up those bottles and I have to put them in and they won't take those in the recycling.
No, they're not recyclable here yet.
That has a 5 on it.
Yeah, they will hopefully.
That one
take
has a
them
2
soon.
on it.
So there's a little sort of an arrow in here, like a recycling, the same you see on the a little triangle, and inside that is a number.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what people would look for, would be that little numbers there, right?
See, that is a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Or a 2. Hey, we got a call. Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on the air. You have a question?
Yeah. Hi. I was wondering if I get involved in the group, would I be able to go around to the different schools with Shauna and help her out?
Yeah, definitely you could. Right now, what I've been doing, I went to Mazo de la Roche. I'm bilingual, so I did it in French and English, but and I just presented to them, and definitely, if you would like to get involved, we need more people, we need more commitment, because I can't do it all by myself when it comes to spare time and whatnot. So definitely, we need more people to get involved and come and help us, for sure.
So how does the caller get a hold of you if she wanted to meet with you? Do you have a phone number you could give her?
Yeah, my phone number is 836
4358?
Yeah.
What is it again?
Telepathy.
What was it again?
It's 836-4358.
4358. You have another question, caller?
No, that's okay. Thank you, Shauna.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
That's and there should be more people like. I didn't know you spoke French as well.
Yeah.
And you go to the public school. How did you get in? Did someone invite you, or did you just?
No, I asked them, actually. I called a number of public schools. At the beginning, they all said they were going to be very supportive, but only a number fell through with that. And yeah, they've been really good about it.
And you're at Newmarket High.
Yeah.
You're in what grade are you in now?
I'm in grade 11.
Grade 11.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I ask how old you are. I know you're not supposed to ask women how old. I think you said you were 17.
Why don't you ask me?
17. But that's kind of, to start all this by yourself, it just came to you, or did you see a program, or I know you took the course.
It just came to me. Well, I've always liked David Suzuki, and I've always just been very concerned. Like, I just really care, and I just wanted to take action. I was sick of.
So HELP has as an official group in Newmarket, right? HELP, and it's available for all ages. It's not just teenagers, or it could be children as well, right? Public school children.
Yeah.
And what do you talk to them about in school?
Well, that's what I said. Well, currently I've been talking to them about the problems with the landfills and recycling, and what to recycle and what you can recycle, and basically just speaking to them about that, about just basic, simple things.
Well, is that part of the program as well, the landfill, Victoria, or?
We're still in the stages of getting our full direction, but I mean, it definitely is a problem within the community, as I think anyone who reads local papers or Toronto papers knows that waste is a definite problem. You can argue about ozone layer and whatnot, but you can't argue about the amount of waste going to landfill sites.
That's right.
And so definitely it is an issue that we will have to deal with on some level.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have blue boxes, and there are people talking about recycling all the time, and you can pick this up and so on and so forth. How else can you help improve, make Newmarket a green place if are we already doing that, or not enough?
We're not doing it enough. I don't think so at all. I'd also like to say that, just before I say why we're not doing enough, is that I think it makes the kids feel important when you go and you tell them little things they can do to make a difference, and that's another reason I think it's important to educate them about things such as recycling. We are not doing enough. It's very evident by driving by the amounts of garbage that people let out. It's possible to reduce your garbage. It definitely is. Or anything for that matter, your water, and to shop environmentally friendly and watch your packaging. You just have to be very efficient about it, and eventually it becomes like a habit.
What are some of the things you could do to watch out for? I mean, I know now, I know that the little number at the bottom, if it's not recyclable, what do I do with it?
If it's not recyclable,
Well, the one bottle you showed me there is not recyclable.
Yeah.
Preferably not buy it.
Yeah,
No,
don't buy
so
it.
don't buy it.
Preferably.
For pudding cups, for example, are not recyclable, and you can actually just use them to put plants in, or save them, because eventually one day hopefully they will be recyclable.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say don't buy like Lunchables.
Lunchables, what's
yeah,
that?
those packages that come with the meat and the cheese and the crackers and the juice box.
They're very packaging
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Cheese strings, things like
Yeah.
that, where there's a package inside a package, and each one is individually packaged, and it creates a small garbage, but you multiply that times how many hundreds of kids, and a lot of schools sell them too. And so I guess that's another aspect of the education program, is to help these kids and show them just even little things like that can make a difference. I was going to mention, when you said about what can you do, The other thing over and above the garbage issue is composting, which a lot of people don't do or are afraid to do or can't be bothered to do, and it really is quite simple, which would be another area to educate people in.
Well, there's a lot of controversy about that composting. I've read articles about it in the paper, and particularly in the Toronto papers, where they said sometimes it brings not breeds, but it brings rodents and that type of thing. That they've called is it maybe they're not doing the right thing?
They're generally not doing the right thing. Those are usually people who don't use the proper mix. You're supposed to have it like a third of your compostable material, a third of it like leaves and grass, and a third of it dirt. And you have to constantly mix that. And you can't throw meat into it, can't throw cheese, because those are the things that actually attract the rodents.
So you put dirt or earth in the composter as well?
You have to mix that in as well.
Now the town of Newmarket sells composters at a very reasonable price.
They're great.
Is this part of the? And they have two different types too, I think, don't they?
I believe they have two different types.
Yeah.
And if you go to like a hardware store, there's even more types. Or you can make your own. I mean, literally a pit in the ground in your backyard, if you have that type of backyard, can be a compost.
And leaves as well as part of that. Leaves, grass cuttings, and so forth. You were also talking to me before when we were chatting about this ecological park that we have in Newmarket. You go by, Mulock Road there, and people don't even know it exists or where it is, or they hear about it. I know they've had some fundraising dinners, but just for our viewers, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your involvement. Where is the ecological park, and what it's about? And I know you were talking about that your group is going to be helping out in some way there.
Oh, we did actually help out. They've become a contact for us for in the future too. But the ecological park is on Mulock, and it's behind Fairy Lake, I guess you could say. It's the second set of lights.
The south of Mulock Drive, right?
And there's a big green sign that says Ecological Park. It doesn't look like much, but when you go down, it's actually a nice place. They're trying to make a walkway. I'm not precise on exactly what they want done, but Brian Kemp mentioned it, that they want to make a walkway that extends so far or whatnot, and just conserve that like a green path.
Right.
The walkway is part of the Holland River Corridor walkway that goes from Green Lane at the north end of Newmarket and comes down through Fairy Lake, and this is an extension of it south of Mulock, and hopefully to eventually join up to Aurora.
To Aurora?
Yeah. That's what
but this is all part of making the town a green community too, isn't it? Parks and ecological sites, keeping the wetlands, the marshes. I saw in the paper today that some of the migrating birds are coming back again because the wetlands have come back, starting to come back. So this is all part of it. Oh, we have another call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Do you have a question?
I was just wondering, are pizza boxes recyclable?
What?
Pizza boxes, yes.
Yeah, pizza boxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are recyclable.
Yes, they are.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Pizza boxes are recyclable?
The cardboard.
Yeah. Really? So, I mean, how do you get this big pizza box into your little blue box?
You actually are
break
supposed
it up.
You're supposed to flatten it and put all the cardboard. You're supposed to separate your recycling box, and you just flatten it.
It's like cereal boxes and any cardboard. When I get a new pair of nylons and there's the cardboard in the nylons, like any of that, and ideally it helps out the people who bring in the recycling. The more separated it is, the less work it is, and the more apt they are to want to take it as recycling. Newspapers, they ask that you bag them, or bundle them, or put them in another box.
Now I've had occasion, I'm living in Newmarket, and I know you as well. When you see the van come around to pick up the blue boxes, and sometimes people will put them out, and it's in a cardboard box or something that just overflowed, and they refuse to pick it up, and they says, well, can't put our hands in there because it might be glass. Is there? People should know that if they have an extra, they should put it in a cardboard box rather than a paper bag or something on recycling, because I know that's another problem. People don't know not only to recycle, but how do I put it out? Like you say, you tie up the cardboard. There's a big demand for cardboard now, isn't there? People stealing it and they're all over the place.
Yeah, the price of papers has gone up a lot for what you can get for recycled papers.
So what do people do? Where does this go down? When the people recycle it, what happens to it? I mean, that might be part of your course.
It goes to Rogers Enterprises, which is
Rogers
LaRue.
TV?
Or no, Rogers LaRue Enterprises, which is a recycling company.
It's in their Keswick.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's in Keswick, and that's where they recycle. Another Rogers LaRue, I've heard is really good. And even if you do put stuff that is not recyclable, like the plastics with the odd number, he will save them and eventually send them out.
Well, you said the plant was under construction, didn't you?
Yeah, I called him. He said he's like making it bigger or something. I'm not really sure, but I would like to in the future have like an open house. But I haven't had the chance to talk to him because he's busy for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we would like to have an open house and
You mean an open
try
house to go and watch?
for the community actually.
To go and see the recycling?
Yeah, to see actually what happens.
Is it a new plant, this place? No. This is in York region where the recycling plant is it? In, where is it? You say Keswick?
Keswick area.
Keswick. But it's not open yet? Or
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
open.
functioning now, but Shauna said he's expanding it.
Yeah, expanding or doing some reconstruction or something. I'm not really sure to what he's doing.
So we
but-
could be buying pop or containers out of something that's already been used 2 or 3 times before, I guess, right?
Paper is actually only recyclable 3 times. I'm not sure if you knew that, but it is only recycled. The fibers get very small, and then eventually you do have to add fresh paper into it, and that's where you get still the logging issue or whatnot.
Now, I know you say you went to the public schools to give talks. So how about at Newmarket High? Have any of the Newmarket High students helped you out? How do they feel about your activities?
Actually, Newmarket High has probably been the least involved. They haven't really talked to me much about it. They haven't really asked me many questions. And I had it over the announcements one day, but no one called me or whatnot. My friends are really supportive, but it just, the school hasn't done anything.
The school hasn't done it. This is their chance. The school could do something. Now, the Newmarket High students can give you a call and get involved.
Yeah. I think the school knows about it, but maybe they just don't need anything from me, you know?
Well, how does your mom feel about this, your mother?
Well,
Is she supportive of all these activities?
She is. It's hard to. It's definitely becoming very environmentally friendly is very hard, and you have to really watch yourself. But yeah, she's very supportive, and she's really helped me out a lot.
And you said you had a friend that was staying with you for a while, Natalie.
Yeah. And she's very supportive too.
She's older than you, is she?
No, she's the same age as me.
And she's helped you out as well.
Yeah. And so is my brother.
And your brother.
Yeah.
And
Always
you.
a family affair.
Yeah.
And you and
All
your
the
husband
kids.
as well, right?
Yeah, and my daughter Morgan and 2 stepsons, Matt and Mark, who are 6, 8, and 11, and they're very enthused about it.
So you were all out on the Holland River cleanup. Well, you weren't on the cleanup because you saw it in the paper, but there's another one.
There was another one. There was 2 actually, and one of them was set up. Shauna has been involved a little bit with Loblaws, who has an environmental group, I guess, committee within the Loblaws in Newmarket, within their company anyway. I'm not exactly sure about the details of it. Shauna can give you a bit more on that. But they are responsible for one of the corridors.
Who, Loblaws?
Loblaws on the Holland River. They're financing a portion of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Or partially financing a portion of it.
I know they're very
think
supportive of the community.
The Green Lane to Davis Drive or so, approximately there. And they were involved in this cleanup that we did. The Scouts were involved, the Brownies were tree planting and cleaning.
You were planting trees too, I understand, weren't you, there at that time?
Yeah, actually, when we went that day, because the ground was so frozen this winter, they couldn't get a lot of the seedlings out they were coming from Timmins or somewhere, and bad locating that time. But anyway, they did have some, and we did some. And then the next week was the town's big cleanup, which was south of where we did that.
Because, well, we have one in our neighborhood too every year, and I get a plug-in. This is our 5th annual Neighborhood Pride Day,
Very
June
good.
1st. And what we do is we go out and pick up all the bottles and debris and things that are left over after the snow melts, and everybody in the neighborhood cleans their gardens and rakes the front of the place. It's going to make a neighborhood idea. And we have a competition as well, nicest gardens and things like that.
Well, and that would be the sort of thing that, the group can try to promote. And it's, just by talking to people is how we find out about these things.
That's right. Now you said you met Frank Cleese, our member of provincial parliament, and Mayor John Cole.
No, I never have met the mayor.
No?
No.
Did you meet Frank Cleese? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, he invited me to a conservation dinner, actually. Yeah, he's been nice.
Where was that? Where was the dinner?
The dinner, I'm not sure where it was. It was on Industrial Parkway, but it was just to raise money for the Conservation Authority, and it was basically a whole bunch of people and they just donated money by buying different things.
Did you give a talk there as well?
No, I just went and sat at his table.
Well, how about John, the mayor? Maybe you get a chance to meet him. He might watch this sometime. Give him a call and he'll come down.
Yeah.
Now, the main members of the group are like a link program between adults and seniors. And you mentioned something about doing some research that you'd like to do, you know, when you maybe continue through a university and so on. And there was some kind of exchange program you were telling me about about environmental, the rainforest in Costa Rica and so on. Can you fill us in on that?
Well, I definitely want to continue environmental studies of some sort, but I hope to get it accepted to an exchange to Costa Rica, but I'm not sure if I have yet. But I kind of put my hopes up high and haven't got accepted yet. But
how do you go about doing that?
I applied with the International Co-op.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully I get accepted, but that's environmental exchange. And what I would do is I would go and either help the turtles or the rainforest or whatnot, but because they have leatherback turtles and they're endangered.
And when someone would come up here, is that the idea?
No, that I would stay with the host family, but no one would come up here.
And how did you hear about that program?
Through my World Issues course.
Your World Issues course? The one that got you involved in the health program? No, that's another one.
Different one. Yeah.
Tell us about the World Issues.
Well, it's the same teacher as the environmental one. It's World Issues OEC. I don't know. It just deals with world issues, like famine and whatnot.
And I see. In addition to being a green community, what are some of the other things that people can do, Victoria, in addition to recycling and planting trees and so on, and helping Newmarket become a green community?
Fertilize, not.
Well, there's a lot of little things that people can do. As simple as, you know, we never throw out a milk bag until it's been used about 8 times. You know, afterwards we wash them, and we bring our own bags to the store. We carry we get the liquor bags you get for $1 in the liquor store, the cloth bags. We carry those to stores. I carry my own plastic bags within there, so I'm not grabbing new plastic bags every time I buy my fruit and my vegetables.
These are things that you're doing.
These are just simple little things that I do and other people can do. Just try to pick environmentally friendly ways. Like Shauna was mentioning fertilizer. Well, there are, you know...
Peat, and actually it's peat with mixture of cow manure.
Well, there are natural fertilizers for your lawn as
yeah.
opposed to using the chemical fertilizers.
And eating seasonal, I think, is important as well. I find that very important.
Because I read somewhere that someone had right in Newmarket, I think it was, some kind of a program they were promoting on, what was it, fertilizer for lawns, but not the type that, you know, what do you call it, chemical one.
Right.
There's some kind of a natural one.
I know there is an environmentally friendly lawn service in Newmarket, but I'm not sure at the moment what the name is.
I got it in the paper.
But those are the kind of things that people could do.
Sure. Furniture polish, for example. Apparently, furniture polish spray has got some of the worst chemicals in it, and is really horrible for inhaling. Is really bad for your system. Of any of the sprays, I've read that. I'm not an authority on this. However, yes, the ones that you spray. Anyway, you can make your own mixture of oil with a small amount of vinegar, and it takes a little bit more elbow grease to make it work, but it makes your furniture look as good as any chemical manufactured spray.
Well, there are not libraries, I mean book catalogs that have books on all these kind of little tips and things.
Simple books like, I don't know what the most updated books are, but there was a book called 2 Minutes a Day for a Greener Planet by Marjorie Lamb, and you can get that in the library, you can buy it, and it's all just simple little tips like I'm telling you, you know, reusing and certain ways to buy and certain cleaners you can make yourself that you know, take a lot less waste and are less harmful.
But that's a tough thing. I mean, you know, I don't know. This is now we're a consumer throwaway world. I mean, it's a tough thing to try and convert people who are so used to just
it's really tough
dumping things, and particularly when I mean, it's all got to start with packaging. You've got to start converting manufacturers to thinking more green and this type of thing.
A lot of letter writing too. I recently read an article about a woman who every time she buys toothpaste, she takes it out of the carton and she leaves it with the store that she buys it with, in hopes that they will, if everyone else would do this, that they would just get so sick of having to handle this garbage that they can influence then the manufacturers that insist on putting a tube of toothpaste in a carton.
But packaging is a business, a big business. You know, designing it's all the advertisement that goes with it and so on. I mean, that people identify with it.
But that's the war of the environmentalists versus industrialists or consumers.
That's right.
And we want the earth to stick around a lot longer, and we have children that we want to have a good world for, and so somewhere there's got to be a trade-off.
No, of course, you're older than Becky, and you have a family, and you're married and so on, and I'm younger than, older than Shauna, but but to have, it's really amazing to have you so gung-ho and excited about this. And you've experienced this, Victoria, being a mother and so on, and going through and learning about this. But for you, this is really a go-getter, starting like that and starting to go on from there. Where can you go from here, do you think?
I'm excited. I don't know. It's up to.
Can you really make a
the
difference, do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that we can. I mean, one man actually told me at Loblaws that I think 7 people started the Tea Party or something, and 3 originally started the French Revolution or something like that. And I'm not sure on those facts, but I think that definitely we can make a difference, even if we have a limited amount of members. But we definitely need more of a concrete basis if we're going to get something really productive done, and we really need the community to help us out.
But you need more people to help you.
Yeah.
You need more people involved in your group. Help the Environment and Learning Program. How would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to join the group or to learn more about it, or maybe maybe you could get into these books and the magazines and so on? Where would they get a hold of you?
Definitely at my house.
Do you have a phone number they could show up?
836-4358.
And could they get a hold of you too, Victoria?
Sure. They can call it 853-3329.
And either one of you then can get the thing. How many other people do you have involved now?
About half a dozen.
Well, that's all it takes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it does. But it'd be nice to have more input. But that's definitely all it does take. But you get less done. You know what I'm saying? In longer period of time. When you have more members and more commitment, you can get more accomplished in a shorter amount of time.
What are some of the things you're going to be doing now this summer? What are your next projects that in town here that you can talk to them to tell the people about?
We're joining with Huron Heights actually to rid of junk mail. They're going.
Oh, Huron Heights students would help out, right?
Yeah. Their group is actually getting us involved in getting rid of junk mail. We're hoping to do
getting rid of junk mail.
Well, for you sign this petition and you put down your address or whatnot, and they don't send you junk mail anymore. I'm not really sure how it works, but.
Okay. What other projects do you have since the summer is coming up? We hope it gets green.
Well, because the group's still in its initial stages, I mean, that's one of the things that we want to hear from Newmarket about. We need to get more connected politically. We need to get more connected to the other groups that are around, the conservation authorities and the naturalist clubs, or anyone we can find. Right at the moment, Sean is acting like a bit of a liaison for some of the groups. They seem to be getting in touch with her. There seems to be a need around here, but we need to get really directed and set our goals. And I think the education is the first thing we're going to try and tackle.
Yeah.
Is there any funding available from the government? Yeah, I know you said it was cut off from the other groups before, but anything now?
You have to sort of search and find it. There are different ways. Newmarket might have some fund that we could try and put a proposal forward for, and I'm not sure at this time. It depends on what it is you're trying to get the funding for.
Okay.
But we will have to be starting to do some fundraising at some point.
That's the next point. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and taking your time and telling the viewers all about it. So remember, if anyone wants to get a hold of you or would like to become involved with health, simply phone Sean at 836-4358 or Victoria at 853-3329. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be showing some clips and highlights of the Newmarket Veterans Club 80th anniversary celebrations that were held right here in Newmarket April 21st this year. So don't go away, we'll be right back.